Good day, guys. Welcome back to Alliance War Season 57. This is episode 6. So we had a really good win against Book of Viganti. Just the 4 deaths. As long as we're under 5, I think we're pretty happy with that. And obviously getting the win is really good. Puts us to 3-2 for the season. We've got 5 fights today. We've taken a lot of new defenders. I've never fought a lot of these guys in war ever before. So it's going to be a new experience for me. We're taking on 4Loki, aka the YouTuber Alliance. So we're 13th right now, they're 14th. So we're pretty much neck and neck on the leaderboard. So it definitely could be anyone's game today. Our team is our 7-star rank 3 Cores, our 7-star rank 4 Photon, and our 7-star rank 1 White Magneto. So we're running our recoil masteries for all of our fights, just because there's a lot of tough defenders. We want to get these guys down as quickly as possible. And of course, our champions are quite suicide friendly. So the first fight we have today is a Red Skull. So this is a great way to get 2 charges for Corvus Glaive here. There's not really too much to worry about. Okay, so I admit there's been a bit of a mistake this war. I messed up a little bit. The fights themselves went alright. I did actually die once, which wasn't ideal. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that my recording just didn't save at all. I think what happened was, so I fought a Arnim Zola on node 36. That's the one I opened. Hazard Shift, I think it's Bleed and Incinerate. Very tricky node. There's not many champions that can do it. I used Photon for it and I soloed it. And I was so excited that I accidentally turned my phone off after the fight. And I think by turning my phone off, it actually just cancelled the screen recording. And so none of it saved at all, which really sucks because there were so many fights. There were so many annoying fights that I did this war. And I'll prove I died. I'm not ashamed of admitting I died. You can see here the path. Oh, actually, you can't see where I went through, but here it is. It's this node 27. Oh, you can still see it. Can you still see the defender? Yeah, it was Lumitrix. So Lumitrix killed me. He killed my Corvus. He basically trapped me in the corner. Actually, sorry. I'm going to go from the start of the war. We'll get to Lumitrix in a sec. So we started here on path... Oops. That's my boosts. We started here on path 3. The first fight here was a Red Skull. Now, what I want to do for you guys is I want to sort of simulate these sort of fights. So you can sort of get an idea of what happened in the fight rather than me showing you. I think it could be a bit of fun that way. So with the first fight was Red Skull. Now, Red Skull is pretty simple for Corvus. In fact, very, very simple. Corvus is one of, if not the best Red Skull counters in the entire game. And by some way, the only one who be on level with him would be like Gallon, but Gallon nukes him in a very different way. Where is my Red Skull? That is a very good question. There he is. So I'll demonstrate with my 4-star Corvus, I think. So let's get the 4-star Corvus out. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Basically, if you hit him when he's got an armor up buff, you're going to glance and obviously and lose some power, I think. But as long as we keep him armor break the whole time, there's no way he can power drain us or glance us. Basically, as soon as he gets an armor break, we just parry and get the armor breaks off. Now here I baited a special 1 while he had no armor ups, right? Basically punished it. He auto blocks, but he doesn't power drain us because he's got no armor ups. So then we heavy there for the knockdown charge. And then it was pretty much it's just a special 2 nuke with no armor ups. Like that. That's how that first fight went. Very, very easy for Corvus to get the 2 charges there for the next fight, which was against Lumitrix. Now, the next fight I had, so that was node 3 on path 3. The next fight I had was this node 12 Enchantress. Very, very common placement for Enchantress is here on node 12. So you basically got strike, counter, combat, power rate. You basically can ignore this node if you don't need, as long as you're not throwing, you don't need to throw specials really with Photon in this fight. So you can pretty much ignore that. All it does is just it inflicts stifles on you and you just don't get power. Or no, sorry, suppressions, I think. Not stifles. Yeah, suppressions. So you just don't get any combat power rate. But the main node here is 6th sense. 6th sense. So she has a 50% chance to auto block any lights or mediums, but she can't auto block heavies or specials or relics. That's the main thing. This is going to be a bit of a harder one to simulate, of course, because she can't auto block naturally. She was being a very annoying. In fact, I messed up midway through the fight because I basically didn't get the heavy spacing right. I think I heavied from back here, but it was like even further away. Let me try and simulate it. I think I think I heavied from here, or even further back, and I basically missed the heavy, and she punished me. And got a bunch of spells. She actually threw a special when she had a spell on, which was not ideal. There I've got the heavy punish down. But you basically can't hit her when she's not stunned because of the auto block. And when she has the orange charge, it's very annoying because you got to intercept her and pray she doesn't auto block. Like that. And then well, I did have a Wags boost as well, which helped. But you basically, yeah, I couldn't throw any specials at all. I also had my stat focus on for energy resistance, so we're taking less energy damage. I think that's where I messed up. That sort of heavy spacing was where I messed up. And there, that was not how the fight went, because I did not die. But it was a bit tricky, but it was a pretty quick fight. It was only about 60 seconds there for a rank 4 Enchantress, which is pretty good. Just Photon was able to nuke through her pretty easily. Yeah, and then the next fight we had was against that Lumitrix. So this was not combat. Hazard Shift, I think in Cold Snap and Bleed? Poison and Cold Snap, sorry. So Corvus is immune to Cold Snap damage when he has his glaive, but Poison he can't handle at all. There's also Power Focus too. The aim of this fight was just to not bait any specials at all, which didn't really work very well. The second attempt, it was a 30-second nuke, and he had he still had like 90% health after the first attempt, which is yeah, not great. The first attempt was just a complete shambles. It's the first time I've ever fought. This war is the first time I've ever fought Enchantress, Lumitrix, and Arnim Zola all in war. So it's a triple threat there with those three annoying defenders. First time I've ever fought any of them in Alliance War. But where is my alliance mate? Here's a rank 4 Lumitrix. There it is. So yeah, it didn't go great with Corvus. I'll use my 6-star, I think. I think that's a good idea, yeah. But he basically, in the first attempt, he basically got me trapped in the corner. I think he threw a heavy, and of course, when he throws this heavy, he gets the evade charge. I didn't punish him. I didn't trigger the evade or anything. But he basically, I think he knocked me down here, and I think he also threw a special 1, and then it was unblockable and he had miss for like 5 seconds. So basically trapped me in the corner. And I also panicked because I had a power start 1, of course. So here I'm at 2 bars of power, basically. And he knocked me down, and I threw the special 2 out of panic. But I didn't have my glaive active, which kind of sucks. And of course, when he's hitting you like there, he's pausing his indestructibility, or sorry, his invisibility. So it was basically like that. I was trapped in the corner. But the second attempt went really well. Basically, during the poison phase, I was doing a lot of repeat powering like this, and so he wasn't able to trap me in the corner really. And then we got the cold snap phase up, and I was able to nuke through here. And so imagine here I'm basically almost at 2 bars of power. Like here I'm at 2 bars of power now with the power start 1. He did not throw a special in this second attempt. Because imagine here he'd have unblockable as well if he threw that special 1. I think I just sidestepped him, and basically so he couldn't throw specials, and then use the special 2 to nuke. It took 2 special 2s for him to go down with the power back boosts, but it was a 30-second fight, the second attempt after that shambolic first attempt. Now the trickiest fight of the war was the fight after that. So there's the fight I already talked about. There's Hazard Shift, Zola, Bleed, and Incinerate, and One Eye Open as well. So that's the main node, is One Eye Open. So basically, Photon is really good for Zola because she can parry non-contact attacks. And of course, Zola's first, medium, and light, I think, are both non-contact. And so that's great. And we had the Wags boost as well, but you just can't hit him when he's stunned because that damage just gets reflected onto you. So you basically got to dance around him a lot, bait heavies. Obviously, his heavies and special 1 are very easy to punish. We didn't want to bait special 2s because of the disintegration damage associated. And I also didn't want to do too many hits during the Incinerate phase because we had pretty decent Incinerate resistance, but it wasn't great. And so imagine I have a Relicon as well, of course. But yeah, we just can't hit him when he's stunned. I had to do a lot of practice duels because I wasn't great at dexing a special 1. No, I sort of did like a half dex, like not a full dex. You basically dex the first hit, but then sort of block the start of the second hit. But then here, I basically have to try to time my heavy just after he's stunned. and obviously not hit it with block. We didn't hit it with block once at all. Because obviously doing that gives him 3 charges, which is not good. But it was just like this. We were just baiting special ones for like, I think the total fight time was about 2.5 minutes, I think. Which isn't bad for a rank 4 Zola, I don't think. I didn't throw any special 2s because of the cowardice associated. But yeah, I had to do a lot of this, like baiting, or getting ready to throw the heavy as soon as the Wag's stun ended. He did actually parry me one time after this, but luckily I went untouchable because of it, so I was able to just chain a few heavies together. And then through special 3s. We did have like science power boost on as well, but they didn't do too much because your special damage is so gimped against this guy. But yeah, it was a lot of this. This is basically how the fight went. You can imagine. Probably went for a bit longer than this attempt did. Probably around 100 hits, I think, in total. And I tried not to do the heavy when he had a barra power in case he would just throw a special 1 straight away. But I did also do a lot of, relics into heavies that made it a lot easier. So I didn't have to do the heavy after the stun as often. But yeah, given that was my first ever Zola in War, and it was that sort of Zola, I was pretty happy with it. The last fight we had, I won't show this one because he's a pretty common defender now. Most of you have seen this guy. It's a Kindred on. That's not where we are. Can I see it? Yeah, so there's Kindred here, rank 3 Kindred on note. This is actually Legacy's Kindred, actually. Shout out to Legacy. This is on Cold Snap, Bleed, Conflictor. We had a Wags boost on with Photon. It's a pretty simple fight. Just hit during the bleed phase, mostly a little bit of Cold Snap, but just bait special 1s, punish them, or just punish every special really, and Bob's your uncle. Like, it's not too much of a fight. I did actually lose a bit of health because we did actually start an outbreak, but we managed to stay away in the clear. But yeah, that was the war. So yeah, I did have a death. I'm going to try extra hard to make sure that the wars do record for the rest of the season. So, but hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of a simulation there. Yeah, it's a bit of a different one, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, stay tuned for my new. I'm getting my new desk this week, which will go along with my whole new setup with my PC. So really excited to show that to you. I'm going to do a whole video for that to show you guys my whole new setup. It's going to be really exciting. But yeah, stick around for that. And yeah, stay tuned for the rest of the season. Peace out, guys.